For 30 years, Johnny Carson was the king of late night. His charm, wit, and effortless cool made him a legend. To be invited onto The Tonight Show was the ultimate celebrity credential. But behind the curtain, in the private corridors of NBC, there was one guest whose recurring presence filled Carson with a profound, quiet dread. The one guest Johnny Carson truly hated inviting back wasn't some chaotic wild card or a disrespectful newcomer. It was a figure so powerful, so beloved, that Carson simply couldn't refuse him. This is the ironic tragedy of The Tonight Show. The man who held the most coveted seat in television was powerless to ban his least favorite comedian, Bob Hope. The clash of kings, power and resentment. The animosity wasn't personal spite. It was a deep, professional resentment rooted in power. Bob Hope was NBC's primetime powerhouse before Carson's reign, and he retained massive clout at the network. This meant Hope could do what no other guest could. He could virtually book himself onto The Tonight Show whenever he had a new special or book to promote. According to Tonight Show producer Peter Lost Sally, Carson would react to Hope's constant requests by groaning. Again, and when asked if he wanted to refuse, Carson would sigh and say, "No, you can't turn down Bob Hope." The tragedy here is the visible frustration of a host, at the peak of his power, being forced to yield his airtime to a rival who abused his privilege. The comedy tragedy, the scripts versus the spontaneous. The core of Carson's disdain was a profound clash of comedy styles. Carson was quick-witted, well-read, and prized genuine, spontaneous conversation. He was a master improviser who appreciated guests who engaged with the real world. Bob Hope was the opposite. He came armed with a stack of heavily scripted, joke writer-approved material, refusing to deviate from the notes. Carson's former co-head writer, Andrew Nichols, noted, "There was nothing spontaneous about Hope. There was nothing to talk to Bob about." The resulting interviews were stiff, predictable, and frustrating for a host who excelled at off-the-cuff banter. The tragedy was watching one of the world's most gifted conversationalists being forced into a lifeless, rehearsed exchange. The final trial, frailty on full display. As Hope aged, the forced appearances became an even greater ordeal. His hearing and eyesight began to fail, forcing Carson and his staff to stick strictly to prearranged notes. If Carson dared to ask a question out of order, Hope would often answer the wrong question entirely, leaving the show's producers scrambling. Hope appeared on The Tonight Show over 100 times. After one of Hope's final, difficult appearances, Carson reportedly told his staff a chilling confession. "If I ever end up like that, guys, I want you to shoot me." The one guest he hated inviting back became a constant, painful reminder of his own mortality and a recurring testament to the high cost of unchecked celebrity power.